The message is going to be kind of long, but it's going to be good. Stick with me. It's refusing rejection. There's some miracles that don't come through comfort. It's going to be a long message, though. So stick with me. But there's some miracles that don't come through comfort. Some miracles don't come because somebody hugged you, affirmed you, called you gifted, and made you feel seen. Some miracles don't come. Some miracles don't come through that. Some miracles come after you get ignored. Some miracles come after you get tested. Some miracles come after the very place you thought would welcome you makes you feel like you don't belong there. And that's where most people lose it. Not because the devil was strong, not because God lacked power, not because heaven was closed. They lose it because their feelings got hit. Their feelings got hit before the faith got answered. That's the ugly truth. We love to talk about faith until faith has to walk through rejection. We love to talk about humility until humility has to survive being misunderstood. We love to talk about breakthrough until breakthrough requires us to keep standing after we feel embarrassed. There's a woman. This woman in Mark 7 did not come to Jesus looking cute. She didn't come to get a platform. She did not come to network with disciples and discipline. She didn't come for religious experiences. She came because her daughter was tormented. Her baby was under demonic oppression. And here's what makes the text uncomfortable. Jesus did not immediately respond the way we expect him to respond. That bothers people. Some scriptures should bother you. If your Bible never offends your ego, you are probably not reading it. You aren't decoding your Bible. This woman comes with a crisis, and Jesus gives her a statement that sounds like rejection, pretty much is. But she does something most people are too fragile to do. She stayed. She keeps pressing. She refuses to let rejection detour her miracle. When real power is in the room, desperation can smell it. When real power is in the room, desperation can smell it. The religious crowd may miss him. The trained theologies and the theologians may debate with him. The proud may ridicule him. But the desperate, they come to find him. So see, this woman has a daughter at home who was not herself, a young girl, trapped under something she could not explain, controlled by something she could not fight, inflicted by something her mother could not fix. This deeper than her. And let's pause there. There's a different kind of pain when the thing you love is suffering. When the thing you love is suffering and you can't reach inside it to pull the pain out, it's a different kind of pain. When there's nothing you can do about what's hurting them or inflicting them. Parents know this pain. Partners know this pain. Real leaders know that pain. Anybody who has watched someone they love get swallowed by addiction, depression, or sickness, or rage, confusion, or darkness, or anybody that's watched a loved one go through these things know this pain. It's one thing to suffer in your own body. It's another thing to watch torment sit on your child, on your spouse. And all you can do is pray, cry, pace the floor, and hope God still answers people who don't have the perfect theology. This woman hears Jesus is nearby. She hears Jesus is nearby, and she moves. Not casually, not poetically, not with her dignity. She falls at his feet. Read it. She at his feet. For a certain woman whose young daughter had an unclean spirit heard of him and came and fell at his feet. She fell. That means this woman knew something that pride people will never learn. You cannot stand tall and beg low at the same time. When the need is deep, posture changes. She's not negotiating from ego. She's not approaching Jesus like, let me see if this will work. No. Her daughter is bound by an evil spirit. Her house is under attack. Her loved one is bound. Her loved one is sick. Her heart is on fire. She gets to Jesus and collapses at his feet. And then the text tells us the woman was a Greek. She still besought him. She still looked for him. Yes, she is outside the covenant structure. She's outside the covenant structure is what I'm getting at. She's outside the covenant structure of Israel. We know that. That matters in this text. But the deeper tension is not just where she is from. The deeper tension is this. There is a demon in a child. And Jesus does not immediately move. That's the blade. Because we would assume the pressure of a demon should automatically activate the power of Christ. But Jesus did not move. Like a panic exorcism. Like he just Ghostbusters. He moves like a king, and a king operates by order. Jesus says, let the children first be filled, for it is not meet to take the children's bread and cast it into the dogs. He told, even though this woman's child is under a demonic attack, that didn't matter. Now let's not sanitize this like church people. When the text make you nervous, Jesus basically says the bread belongs to the children first. Healing has order. Deliverance has order. Covenant has order. Access has order. And that sounds offensive to the modern ear because modern people have been trained to think desire equals entitlement. It doesn't. Desire does not equal entitlement. It's alignment. We're going to get into it. Stay with me. We're going somewhere. Just because you want something does not mean you are positioned for it. Just because you need something does not mean you understand how to carry it. Just because you are hurting does not mean you get to skip order. That is the raw. That is the truth. But it is the Bible. The woman is standing before the answer of her problem. And the answer sounds like rejection. Now here's what most people would leave. Most people would say, I knew I shouldn't have come here. Most people would have said, see, God don't care about me. Most people would say, I'm done with church. Done with faith, done with all of this. Most people would make their offense more sacred than their needs. Yeah. And that's why most people stay bound. That's why most people stay shackled longer than they have to. Not because God can't move, because he did it. Because they let a hard moment become a detour. This woman does not let this answer break her. He called her. He said she was a dog. Yes, Lord, is what she responded. You're right. Yes, Lord. Yet the dogs under the table eat of the children's crumbs. That may be one of the most powerful responses in the entire New Testament. She does not argue. She does not correct him. She does not say, how dare you? She just says, yes, Lord, you're right. Whatever you call, I may be a dog. I may be an addict. I may be a hoe. I may be a... Yes, Lord. But even they get the crumbs. She does not correct him. She does not say, how dare you? That's humility. But then she says, yet, that is faith. Yet the dogs under the table eat of the children's crumbs. Let me translate that. I understand I may not have the seat. I understand I may not have the seat. But I know there's an overflow. I may not be first in the order, but I know your power is too abundant to be trapped on the table. I may not qualify by title, but mercy has a way of falling. I may be called a child. I may not be called a child in this moment. But even a crumb from you is stronger than the demon in my house. A crumb from you is stronger than the demon in my house. That's not weak. That is not weakness. That is violent faith wrapped in humility. And Jesus says, for this saying, go thy way. The devil is gone out of thy daughter. Not for your tears, not for your emotion, not for your dramatics, not for your dramatic entrance, not for your pain, not because it's a devil, not for any other reason. For the saying. Her answer unlocked the miracle. Her response, her posture gave heaven jurisdiction. Her humility made room for power. It was her humility. Because they told you, no, you N-word. No, you YT. No. Her humility made room for it. Her refusal to be offended kept her close enough to receive. Here's the part that will make religious people itch. Just like that itch. Some people are not waiting on God. God is waiting on their posture. People hate that because it puts responsibility back in the room. Naturally. The human ego prefers a gospel where God does everything and we remain emotionally disorganized toddlers with Bible apps. But this text does not allow that. This woman's daughter had a demon. But Jesus still dealt with her with order before deliverance. That means that the alignment, she had to find alignment. She had to find alignment. That means that the presence of darkness is not the only issue. The issue is who can access, who has access, who has authority, who is standing in faith, who can humble themselves long enough to receive, who can survive the offense test. Because offense is a gateway. Offense can be a gatekeeper. Offense stands at the edge of your miracle and says, turn around. You should not have even gone through this way. Offense can do that. And sometimes offense sounds reasonable. You deserve better. They should have treated you differently. You should have not have to ask twice. You should not have to humble yourself like that. You should walk away with your pride. But pride will let you go home with your dignity and keep your demon. This woman, yeah, pride, I'm learning. She said, my pride is not worth my daughter's bondage. My pride ain't worth the bondage. Father, forgive me. Father, heal me. Father, fix me. Father, I cry out to you. I ain't too proudful. My pride is not worth my daughter's bondage. Some of us need to say, my pride is not worth my healing. My ego is not worth my marriage. My attitude is not worth my assignment. My offense is not worth my future. My need to be validated is not worth my deliverance. My pride is not worth my healing because rejection did not stop her. A hard word did not stop her. A boundary did not stop her. A label did not stop her. She stayed. She stayed. She stayed in position. She stayed in position until the miracle crossed the threshold. She refused to let the misunderstanding detour her miracle. She was grieved. She was crying out to God in the temple. And Eli, the priest, misread her pain. We're talking about Hannah. I'm sorry, Hannah. Hannah was barren. We're talking about Hannah. She was barren. And Eli, the priest, misread her pain. And Eli said unto her, how long wilt thou be drunken? Put away thy wine from thee. And we talking about 1 Samuel 1. You are already broken, already desperate, already carrying a private ache. And the man of God accuses you of being drunk. That could have offended her. She could have said, this priest is insensitive. I'm leaving here. This priest don't know what he's talking about. See, I know more than him. But Hannah was too desperate for a child to be distracted by being misunderstood. She answered, no, my Lord. I am a woman of sorrowful spirit. She did not let misunderstanding detour her miracle. And eventually Samuel was born. This is the pattern. Sometimes the answer is near, but offense is standing in front of it. Sometimes the answer is near, but offense is standing in front of it. Blind Bartimaeus refused to let people detour his miracle. Bartimaeus hears Jesus passing by and starts crying out, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Yeshua, Yeshua, Yeshua. Thou son of David, have mercy on me. The crowd tells him to be quiet, and many charge him that he should hold his peace. But he cried the more. He made an even bigger deal. And that is it. That is the whole strategy. They said, be quiet. He said, let me upgrade the volume. Because when you know your answer is passing by, you don't let people who are not blind tell you how to cry out loud. They ain't blind. They don't have your issue. Sometimes it's offensive. That's a word by itself. People who are not carrying your condition will always have an opinion about your desperation. They will call you too loud, too intense, too serious, too radical, too much, but they are not the ones sitting in your darkness. Bartimaeus refused to let public pressure detour his miracle. The woman with the issue of blood refused to let shame detour her miracle. This woman had been bleeding for 12 years, man. A certain woman which had an issue of blood, 12 years, Mark 5:25. A certain woman. She was a certain woman. She was ceremonially unclean. She had spent everything. Doctors had failed her. Her body had betrayed her. Her society had isolated her. But if I may touch but his cloth, I shall be whole. She pressed through that means she pressed through shame. That means she pressed through pain. She pressed through religious rules. She pressed through exhaustion. And when she touched him, power moved. Sometimes the answer ain't easy, man. Sometimes the answer ain't easy. A straight way. The fountain of her blood was dried up. And straight away, the fountain of her blood was dried up when she touched him. She refused to let shame detour her miracle. Jacob refused to let pain detour his blessing. Jacob wrestled with the angel until daybreak. I will not let thee go, except he bless me. That's not cute faith. That's not cute faith. And during the wrestling, Jacob's hip is touched. He's wounded in the struggle, but he still does not let go. Some blessings don't come without a limb, without pain, without a scar. If you ain't got no scars, you still wounded. And that is where shallow believers get confused. They think if God isn't in it, it should not hurt. They think if God is in it, it shouldn't hurt. Sometimes God's blessing breaks you breaks your walk at the same time, because the old way you move cannot enter the new name he's giving you. Jacob left the encounter as Israel, but he didn't leave untouched. He refused to let pain detour his blessing, though. This woman that Christ calls a dog, this woman teaches us this. A miracle can be near and still requires you to pass through rejection, silence, delay, offense, and humility. That's what this woman teaches us. That is not God being cruel. That is God revealing what is in you. Yes, Lord. She didn't deny being a dog. She agreed. Yes, Lord, I am sick. Yes, Lord, I am a dog. Yes, Lord, I am an addict. Yes, Lord, I am. Because if I wasn't, why would you say I am? Because the miracle is not only about the daughter getting freed. It's also about the mother being revealed. Her faith was revealed. Her humility was revealed. Her intelligence was revealed. Her endurance was revealed. Her refusal to be offended was revealed. Jesus did not just expose her. He exposed her capacity. That is why some hard moments are not evidence that God rejects you. They're evidence that there's something in you God is pulling to the surface. You thought the rejection was there to stop you. No. The rejection was there to reveal whether your faith was bigger than your feelings. No. Was your faith bigger than your feelings? The raw application is this. Some of us are too easy to detour. One bad comment and we quit. One ignored message and we spiral out. One hard conversation and we retreat. One closed door and we call it confirmation. One person does not support us and we act like heaven resigned. You are not being blocked every time you are uncomfortable. Let me say that again. You're not being blocked every time you're uncomfortable. Sometimes discomfort is just the halfway. You're just in the hallway of the path of life. You ask for a miracle, but you keep worshiping comfort. You ask for transformation, but you keep protecting the old version of you. You ask for healing, but you keep getting offended when the surgeon touches the affected place. This woman did not have time to get fragile. Her daughter was bound. That gave her all the focus she needed. And that is what some of us are missing. Focus deeper than feelings. Because when the assignment became clear, offense loses power. When the mission became heavy, your ego gets quieter. When you know what it is and what's at stake, you stop letting small rejections make big decisions for you. You stop letting small rejections make big decisions for you. You stop letting the emotions overpower the assignment. She could not let rejection detour her miracle because her daughter's freedom mattered more than her personal offense. That's the line. That's the sword. That's the whole sermon. Her miracle was not on the other side of perfect treatment. It was on the other side of endurance. It was not on the other side of being affirmed. It was on the other side of humbleness. It was not on the other side of everybody understanding her. It was on the other side of her refusing to leave before the answer came. Yeah, man. Some of you are closer than you think. But you keep turning around at the place where your pride gets touched. You prayed for deliverance, but you got offended by the process. You asked God to free your house, but you walked away when he challenged your posture. You said you wanted breakthrough, but you left when the answer didn't sound like comfort. But this woman says, not me. Reject me if you have to. Test me if you have to. Tell me the order if you have to. Make me face where I stand if you have to. But I'm not leaving without reaching for the power that can free what I love. I'm not leaving without reaching for the power that can free what I love. And that is the difference between casual faith and desperate faith. Casual faith leaves. Casual faith leaves when it feels disrespected. Desperate faith says, I did not come here for my ego to be my... I came here because something in my house needs to be free. So let rejection talk. Let delay talk. Let the crowd talk. Let shame talk. Let your past talk. Let the devil talk. God, tell me the truth about me. But do not let any of it detour your miracle. Because sometimes the door does not open for the person who feels worthy. Sometimes it opens for the one who refuses to leave. She came for crumbs and left with deliverance. A crumb from Christ carried enough authority to evict a demon from a child he never ever touched. So the question is not whether Jesus has power. The question is, can you stay in position long enough for the miracle to be answered? I hope this lesson was a blessing.